You know the kinds of conversations you have with your friends around the couch where you just don't really have much direction or anything? We decided to record those. I'm not much 23.
And I'm ChoasAssassin.
This is Gamer Experience, and let's see where this goes.
It feels more fitting to have an intro to these episodes where we're literally just bullshitting and letting me go off on a tangent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have Shaguto here. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
So you remember when I said I have a funny for this episode?
Oh god.
I saw a thing.
You saw a thing? Was it thing 1 or thing 2?
Arnold Schwarzenegger singing 1,000 miles.
What?
Now I'm just imagining the Terminator saying he will walk 5,000 miles.
And I will walk 500 miles, and I will walk 500.
Hold up.
Back in the way downtown, walking fast, faces past and I'm homebound.
Okay,
That's
that's
AI.
enough.
Well, no, duh, it's AI. But just hearing Arnold Schwarzenegger sing that was amazing.
Oh, that song. I was thinking of 500 miles.
No. However, 500 Miles by the Proclaimers is amazing song. I love that song.
There's a lot of good music that they're slept on. Like people don't remember so much because they remember like the mainstream things, but like they don't remember old school like good music.
What
I
about
barely
good?
hear any Bon Jovi nowadays.
Yeah, what about good
I hear
old
it
school?
sometimes.
It's every now and then, but I still hardly ever hear it.
What are you saying?
What about good old school video game music?
Oof.
I was thinking more like Sonic 2 and 3.
That's fair. Sonic
Atari
Heroes
is
had
also-
some good music though.
Atari is also classic, though.
That I'm sorry. Things like Tetris. That is like Beethoven and Bach when it comes to music for video games.
Yes.
Like that is the peak and the absolute bangers of music from not even just our childhoods, our parents' childhoods.
Yeah, I mean, didn't we do a whole episode on video game music?
Yes, we did. And we talked about our favorite musics. And I still stand by the fact that no Zelda game will have better music than Twilight.
Twilight Princess?
Yep, Twilight Princess. And Shaguto agrees.
Well, I love the Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 music.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute
What I
fucking
find funny is
peak.
there's like a lot of YouTubers that I watch that they'll be playing games and they'll have like ambiance background music. And one of the YouTubers, every time I'm watching one of his videos, you can hear Zelda music in the background.
Really?
Yeah.
Who is that?
Zwag almost always in a lot of his videos has
Funny. That is hilarious, dude. Oh my god. But I've been talking to Chaos about this. Mobile games with good music. Do you know any mobile games with good music? Not much.
I don't really play many mobile games, so I don't know.
As far as music in mobile games go, I have a game on my phone called Endless Frontier, and it usually has 2 songs just repeatedly looping one after the other, and one of them is like a really good ambiance kind of music that's in my opinion is one of the best mobile game music I have ever heard.
Yeah, then there's the video games that have licensed music.
This is true.
like Nintendo.
And the Grand Theft Auto series.
Speaking
Oh,
of
that's right. They do, don't they?
Yeah.
Speaking of licensed music, do you know One Republic? The group One Republic?
I don't think so.
I know
I
of them.
I think it's One Republic, but
It was a boy band that
Yeah.
came after the Jonas Brothers.
I think they recently dipped their toes into the anime industry.
Really?
They did the ending song for Kaiju number 8. Give me a second, I can actually tell you the name of the song and the band. Nobody from Kaiju number 8 by One Republic. And the song's actually really fucking good, too. The very, very first time I was telling Chaos about it is when me and him were driving somewhere and I was letting Spotify do its own thing. And I was like, so do you know who this is? No. Well, they did this. And he was like, well, what's that? as the song starts to play off of Spotify, I'm like, this. So,
Yeah.
kind of comedic timing right there, if I do say so myself. You remember that, right?
Vaguely.
Vaguely?
Yeah, vaguely. There's not a lot that I remember.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, my memory's gone. Part of the reason it's so hard to get me to actually, sit down and actually be able to record. We got to do multiple recordings in a day, but because otherwise, will never get me time to record because I forget to record.
And that's why I'm here now.
Yep.
Yeah, and fortunately, these kinds of episodes, I don't really have to edit that much.
Not really, just abstract noise and certain parts of tangents, but for the most part, we don't. With these, you don't have to record or
Edit that much?
Yeah, that thing.
Which is good because I have to do it today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's why I have Shaguto as a alternate co-host.
Yeah.
Speaking of music, though, how many games do you guys know that have made their own bands?
Not many. You were telling me about one game having what? 3 of its own bands,
Yep.
songs by the voice actors of characters in the game.
They're not the voice actors of them, but League of Legends has 3. I'm pretty sure it's just 3 bands. Let me double check because that's something I'm trying to get back into is actually fact checking.
I know of a game that actually has their own in-universe bands.
What game?
Splatoon, Splatoon 2, Splatoon 3, the
yeah.
Splatoon series.
Okay. So for League of Legends, they have
Those what? Pentakill, Heartsteel.
They have Heartsteel, KDA, Pentakill, and True Damage.
So it's 4.
Those are the musical acts. I know. So Heartsteel is kind of a boy band aspect. KDA is a K-pop inspired band, and Pentakill is just good old fashioned rock and metal. I don't know much about True Damage as far as what kind of music because I don't think I've heard anything, but I do enjoy both KDA and Pentakill.
They're good.
I showed Shaguto some of Pentakill, and just it's good.
It slaps. It hits.
Which is really amazing for the fact of because I don't know if it was a band that decided to do music for Riot or what.
No idea.
But music is just so good. I love it.
Some music.
Yeah, there's certain songs that I just can't stand, but granted, don't ask me any of the names of them because I didn't care to know the names.
Or even mediocre songs from otherwise great bands that get played to fucking death.
Or gems of artists that don't get played enough, i.e. Queen, I'm in Love with My Car.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard that one. I might have to look that up after we record this.
You should. It's a real song, and it's actually kind of decent. I'm not going to lie.
I mean,
go for it.
Queen's a really good band, though. That wouldn't surprise me.
As far as I know, the I'm in Love with My Car song kind of just happened because of a joke.
That would not surprise me.
And I think one of the members was drunk when he came up with it.
But then there are groups that they're just overrated.
Yeah, no.
And they're either that or they have certain songs that they have one song that everybody knows them for one song. They don't realize that they do other songs. What was it? It's one of the bands you like, not much. The only song I can think of for them is Tom Sawyer.
Rush.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. Mediocre songs getting played to death.
Mm-hmm.
They have some other excellent stuff like The Trees, YYZ, Red Barchetta, Closer to the Heart, Xanadu, 2112. They actually made one song the entire side of an LP.
Damn.
Yeah.
And they're the groups that everybody used to listen to, and then you have no idea what the hell happened to them.
Yeah, there are groups that just
Green Day.
where they go.
Green Day.
Just Green.
I haven't heard anything new from Green Day in years.
That's fair.
Smash Mouth.
Yeah,
Smash Mouth. You know what? I'm gonna look it up.
Though fortunately there are some bands that fade into obscurity that deserve it. like Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Yeah, for 1 year, like just about every second or third song on the radio was like
Smash Mouth does still somewhat perform, but after the retirement of their lead vocalist,
Steve Harwell in 2021.
following Harwell's death in 2023, they released something to commemorate him.
Yep. He got replaced with a guy named Zach Good, or Dude.
Yeah. What was the other one we were?
Green Day.
Green Day.
Green Day.
They still
really,
perform.
But they faced a
Some
safety
sort of
scare during a concert in Detroit.
Yeah.
Why does it not surprise me that it's fucking Detroit?
because you can't have shit in Detroit.
Yes, you can. You can have shit there. That's all you can have.
I have seen people's driveways get stolen in Detroit.
Are you gonna walk up and steal somebody's actual shit? That's all the shit they can have. The actual shit that they shit.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone stole that shit in Detroit too.
Shit. That's shitty. Welcome, folks, to where we say shit. You know, one of the second most versatile words in the English dictionary.
Next to
Followed
fuck.
by fuck.
That's all.
Or is shit more universal than fuck?
No, fuck is more universal than shit.
No, because you can be the shit, but you can't be the fuck.
But
You can beat the fuck out of somebody.
But you can't
I
fuck.
saw a meme picture a while ago of a bus in Detroit having a tail gunner seat. Like the ball with the two gunners. I'm like, makes sense in Detroit. I'm like, yep.
And even when with somebody in there actively firing, it'd probably still get stolen.
I
Like,
wouldn't be surprised.
where'd it go?
I was just firing. Where'd my gun go?
Well, hello there.
Where'd the
I
ball
now have a
go?
cat on my lap.
And then their ass is on the ground because somebody stole the entire bus.
Yeah.
Why does that remind me of, if you're here to kill me, gotta tell ya, you'll never take me alive, you robotic son of a bitch. That is what Scooter tells you when you first run into Scooter in Borderlands 2.
Oh, yeah. Because he thinks you're from Hyperion.
Ah, shit. Is you Hyperion? I heard you robots eat garbage out of the trash and stuff. Well, if you're here to kill me, just so you know, you'll never take me alive, you robotic son of a bitch. Why is it I can remember just about all of that?
Because this is you.
That's fair, and Scooter's one of my favorite characters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. This reminds me of so many redneck jokes.
You might be a redneck.
If your idea of home security is taking the front steps with you.
You might be a redneck.
If you've ever slammed a door so hard and knocked your house off the concrete blocks.
You might be a redneck.
If your pool goes down every time your neighbor flushes their toilet.
You might... Actually, that's a different issue.
If you have an above ground pool and you fish in it.
You might be a redneck.
If you work without a shirt, and so does your husband.
You might be a stripper.
We just won't talk about the special breed of human that is the Florida man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a special breed of redneck down there. That's redneck with healthy teeping dosing of mental illness.
Okay.
Yeah, that too.
Okay. So I am from the South. There are rednecks, and then there's Florida man. They are not the same. Rednecks at least have the intelligence to sit there and fix your entire engine with nothing but a roll of duct tape, and that's about it. All for the cost of a beer. Florida man could take a screwdriver, and they'll disassemble anything they want.
A Florida man could take a screwdriver and somehow end up with a nuke.
No, they could take apart a nuke.
In the middle of the
Without
road.
any sort of formal training on bomb defusing or just mechanics like that.
Yeah, in the middle of the road while they're eating breakfast. Right before they throw
They
a
don't eat
gator
breakfast. They snort cocaine.
Right? Yep. Right before they throw a gator into the drive-through window.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna be honest, I think there are only one group of people that Florida man is actually afraid of.
And that is
People from the bayou.
Yeah, you don't fuck with people from the bayou.
I was gonna say Australian like bogans.
No. Most Australians are afraid of Florida men.
Yeah. However, most Australians have the wherewithal to survive against Florida men because
Everything in Australia is trying to kill you.
literally,
It's like Murphy's
literally.
Law.
They
That's
have-
where Murphy's Law is from. It's an Australian thing.
If it looks like it can kill you, it can kill you. If it looks like it can't kill you, it can still kill you. If it's an inanimate object, it can still kill you.
Welcome to Australia.
I mean, they have a snail that has
can kill you.
Yes, it's called the
The
cone
literal
snail.
most poisonous snail in on the fucking planet.
Yeah, cone snail.
Mm-hmm.
See, I like one of the YouTubers I watch where they do skits where I think the character's name is Steve, and they're in charge of designing animals for God.
Oh yeah.
I think all of their failed things just end up in Australia.
That's what I heard as Australia be called at one point. Is Australia is where God dumped all of his rough drafts.
And then
Either that or this is too dangerous for humans. Let's put it where no human will go, in the desert. Why are there humans in the desert now?
Australia, mate.
Oh, and Australia is where the United Kingdom dumped their undesirables.
True.
Literally.
So what I find funny is everybody, says, English is, everybody needs to learn English. I'm sorry, English is the most known language in the world.
It's also one of the most confusing languages in the world.
Well, that all depends. Which English are you learning? American English, the Queen's English, or the Aussie English? Which I actually don't know if that's actually what it is. If we have any listeners from Australia, I would love to know what kind of English does it classify as? Because I know Queen's English is for England and the UK area. American English is here in the United States, but I don't know what specific type of English is in Australia. I know it's a type of English, but I don't know what. If you all could send us a message, I would love to know.
At gamersperience@gmail.com, at gamersperience on X, formerly known as Twitter, as a YouTube comment below this quote-unquote video that's really more just audio, or on our Discord, which there's a link that does not expire in their YouTube videos and on our pinned X post.
Mm-hmm. But like that, the English is known everywhere. And most schools in other countries will teach you English because of just how many people speak English because of, England colonizing most of the world.
Yeah, British
I
colony.
know that in Germany, they start learning English from kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
I
actually
should know. I've had 2 German exchange students.
Which is actually where that word comes from, is German.
Which is sad when the 2 German students spoke better English than 90% of the people I knew.
And the thing is, the sun never set on the British Empire, right?
Yep. They had conquered so much of the world that the sun never set on a part of the British Empire.
Because God didn't trust them in the dark.
I could see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes me wonder some days. Well, how would the world be if England didn't,
colonize 90% or
most of the world? Yeah,
75% of the world.
I actually don't know how much did England colonize.
At first, England wasn't the only colonizing nation. There was France and Spain and Portugal got in the act. I think maybe the Netherlands did too.
I know Japan did as well.
Later. But yeah.
80%.
80%.
Fuck.
Although Europe represents only about 8% of the planet's landmass, from 1492 to 1914, Europeans conquered or colonized more than 80% of the entire world.
Well,
Damn.
which actually makes sense to me because European history is so chock full of war
Mm-hmm.
that by the time they colonized, they were so excellent at it, nobody could compete.
It's why I there was a video I saw that actually could have been hilarious. So technically, Sherlock Holmes could have gone to Japan and met a samurai.
Yeah.
There was a period of time that Abraham Lincoln could have sent a telegram to a samurai.
Yep, that was the same time frame as Sherlock Holmes. And the fact of there was an empire that started in like 800 BC and ended like 30 years before Texas was founded. There's a 30-year difference between the fall of that empire and Texas being formed.
Hmm.
Like, sometimes history doesn't make sense. I forget exactly how much has happened throughout the world and how much overlaps.
Yeah, because we get taught it separately.
Yep. Like the fact of technically during the American Revolution, we could have asked for help from samurai. Have samurai help us. Like, what? Is that true? Check the dates. Yeah, we could have. I mean, if we had communication, then yeah. But like the thought of the fact of samurais have not been gone for that long is insane.
But you know why it wouldn't have happened? Because at that time,
We didn't know
Japan
the language.
was so isolationist that
That
nobody really
too.
communicated with them.
Everybody who showed up on their property wanted to take their land.
Yeah, it took Commodore Matthew Perry to open Japan up at gunpoint.
Sounds about right. Well, if we can't do it by talking to use the firearms. Which is funny because when gunpowder was first made, it was made for fireworks.
Yep.
Then the Chinese quickly figured out they could put it in a tube, put rocks in the end, light it, and boom, you got a weapon.
Yep.
And actually,
The world record for largest firework is held by a small little village in the outskirts of Japan called Tatakai, and the firework itself is called the Yon Shakadama. It takes half a year to make one.
actually, there is a video only in Japan. The John Dobb part actually goes over that.
Chinese alchemists.
And
The origins of gunpowder can be traced back to
850 CE.
Yep.
That's when gunpowder.
Accidentally created gunpowder while trying to develop a fountain of youth potion.
That makes about right. That makes sense.
Trying to extend life, but instead you suddenly shorten it.
Chinese fire lance is to be believed as one of the first technical guns invented in the 10th century.
This early firearm was a metal or bamboo tube that used gunpowder to fire a spear. The invention of gunpowder itself dates back to 9th century in China. The fire lance is considered a significant development in the history of firearms, making the transition from traditional weapons to gunpowder-based weaponry.
And Europeans took that and ran so far with it.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, China makes everything, including guns.
And we make them better.
Right. Sounds about right.
Well, if you think about it, why do we have paper?
China.
Actually, was it China or was it Japan that made paper? It was China? Like, what?
Yeah. Because
what advancement did China not make that's well used?
writing. Oh wait, no, they had a system
had
of
writing.
writing, but they didn't invent it. The Sumerians did, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, they had cuneiform in clay tablets. You haven't heard about that one tablet of one guy complaining about the poor quality of copper that he bought?
The invention of writing, which began around 3400 to 3100 BCE, marked a pivotal transformation in human history.
Mesopotamia and Egypt.
The
Sumerians. Yeah.
Told you.
Developed cuneiform around 3100 BCE using wedge-shaped marks on clay tablets primarily for administrative and accounting purposes. This system evolved to express complex ideas, literature, and historical records. Simultaneously, the Egyptians developed hieroglyphics around 3200 BCE, a pictorial writing system used for religious texts and monumental inscriptions. Hieroglyphs combined logographic and phonetic elements, allowing for both artistic representation and precise communication.
Writing was not a singular invention, but occurred independently in various countries. Besides Mesopotamia and Egypt, writing systems also developed in China around 1200 BCE and Mesoamerica
around 250 CE. Each of these systems arose from unique cultural contexts and needs, demonstrating the diverse paths of human communication.
How does BCE work? Is it the lower the number, the closer it is to us?
Yes.
So by technically,
the higher the number, the farther it is away.
So technically, Egyptians had it first as documentation because it was 32 BCE, whereas Sumerians were 3100 BCE.
Yeah, but that gets into the fact of hieroglyphics versus actual legit writing.
Yeah.
So
To be fair, Egyptians are the first one to make emojis.
You're not wrong. That's what hieroglyphics were. Is just a string of emojis.
I mean, there are people that they could sit there and type out
nothing
emojis.
but emojis, and
that
people
makes sense.
understand what the hell they're saying. I'm
Congratulations, y'all are speaking in hieroglyphics now.
Wow, how things have come full circle.
like, oh, how the turntables.
Actually, who made emojis?
Well, I know the term is Japanese.
Shigetaka Kurita
A Japanese man.
is a Japanese interface designer who created the first emoji set for NTT Docomo in 1999.
The first bit of emojis.
Wow! The first emoji was invented in 1999. That both simultaneously makes me feel old and young at the same time.
Yeah.
What year were you born?
2000?
Emojis are older than you.
By one fucking year.
How does it feel good, sir, to be younger than emojis?
I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
Yeah, but I think
God, what is happening?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to cut this short because I'm getting pretty uncomfortable under this recording comforter, and I still need to edit this episode by the end of today.
That's fair.
Good, sir.
So we started with music, we ended with writing systems. That's where this went.
And the fact that Shaguto is younger than emojis.
Yes. So
I did want to let our listeners know that I have my streaming stuff back up and running for the most part. And so I will be attempting to start streaming again.
Where?
On Twitch. You can visit me at Twitch. I will get a link to not much to put on so people can find my Twitch channel.
And what's your username on Twitch? Chaos Assassin?
Chaos Assassin.
Spelled
As it is.
CHOAS. Assassin.
Yep.
All one word.
Capital C and capital A.
Okay.
I will get a link to so we can put that out. So if y'all want to come and watch me, you can.
Okay. And of course, we have gamersperience@gmail.com. X, formerly known as Twitter, @gamersperience. Our DMs are open. On YouTube, Gamersperience Podcast. And we also have Discord, Gamersperience Podcast. But I'm Not Much 23.
And I'm Chaos Assassin. And thank you again, Shaguto, for joining us for the podcast.
Yee, anytime.
And this is Gamersperience. And always we invite you to have your own Gamersperience.